Okay, let me just introduce myself. A few of you already know me. My name is Mac of Mac's Herb Shop. I've been in this business of holistic health for over 20 years, easily. I'm a holistic health practitioner. I'm a holistic nutritionist. I've done a couple of research studies on African Americans and our diet and how that diet affects the different chronic diseases that plague a lot of us, like high blood pressure, coronary heart disease, kidney disease, uh, man, a lot of things, asthma. uh, Dr. Sabies, when I was living in Los Angeles, whenever he came to Los Angeles, I would take his workshops. I also studied under Dr. Barbara Flott, who was out of Los Angeles. And Mildred, Dr. Dumas, is my direct manager. She's a naturopathic doctor. A lot of different people that I've been able to help in different challenges in their life. One of them was a friend of mine, and at the time I didn't know she had asthma. And we were driving actually on the freeway doing about 65 miles per hour. And she had an asthma attack. And I was sitting in the passenger seat. So I helped her to pull over, safely. And she was grabbing her chest and trying to breathe. And she pulled out her inhaler and she took a couple of squishes of inhaler and it was empty. And so I was like, whoa, so I always carry a blend of essential oil and peppermint oil in my pocket. So I pulled out the peppermint oil and the essential oil blend, and I told her to sniff it because I knew the peppermint would open up that airway. And then I told her to rub it on her chest, and she started rubbing it on her chest and her lungs. And just like that, instantaneously, she was able to breathe again, and we was able to avoid taking her to emergency for an asthma attack. That was something that, it almost like I did 25 years in the military. It was almost like an incident that they prepare us for in the military. You always have to be ready. There's no time to get ready. You have to be ready. And that's why I keep some type of essential oil or something on me. It's like for first aid, but peppermint can be used for a myriad of different things. Soothing the stomach and on the skin, but it helps a lot with the airway, opening up the airway and things like that. Another time I had a colleague of mine, actually, he was staff. I was working at Los Angeles Community College District. This guy was a janitor and he had sciatica. And he had sciatica pain so bad, he said it shot down his leg and he couldn't walk. So, being a janitor, that's not good. He had to be home for almost like a month. And when he told me about it, I put him on an herbal program that I have, and instantaneously he told me when he got on the program and started using the herbs, he was able to walk. And I mean, he had been in excruciating pain for, I'm sure, at least a month, if not more. And that got him back on his feet and back to work. One of the incidents, a client of mine, actually, Miss Barnett knows him affectionately, was my father, Mr. William McCurtis. Unfortunately, he passed away, but when he was at the age of 80, I was living in California and my father lives in Chicago. He called me and he was telling me about a situation that he had with gout. He had gout in his hands and his hands had swollen up. They looked like baseball, softball or something, and he had excruciating pain in him. Well, my father also worked his own business as a shoe repairman. He had a shoe repair shop, Bill's Shoe Shop. And when his hands had gotten that way, he couldn't work. He had to stop, close up his business, and unfortunately, couldn't work then. So I put together a herbal program for him, which addressed his situation with pseudo gout, he said he had. And within only 4 or 5 days, the pain that he had disappeared. The swelling had went down. And he stayed on, I had him on this program, which included, of course, plant-based foods. And he was so amazed by it, he started telling all his other friends, all of his classmates. So at that time, like I say, my father was in his 80s. So I had all these people calling me in their 80s and their late 80s and early 90s to help them with different situations they had. Of course, he called me again. He had a situation, I think it was with high blood pressure. Then anytime he had a situation, he called me and I helped him and got him over the situation. So he, from 80 to 90, became a vegetarian. And he would always tell some of our family members when they was gonna take him shopping, I only eat organic. That was his saying. I only eat organic. Don't buy nothing but organic. I only eat organic. And so when I came home to hear him say that, it shocked me. I'm like, this is my father who I grew up. And I'm telling you, I grew up with this man. He used to eat dessert for breakfast. After he eat breakfast, he have dessert. I never knew you ate dessert after breakfast. But this man would cut him a slice of that pie or that cake that my mother had from dinner the night before, right after he eat his breakfast. But when he turned 80 and he got into these herbs, I'm telling you, he stuck with it. He was a vegetarian and he ate organic food only. And he lived to be 101 years old. That, I think, is amazing. I didn't really realize it because I haven't really lived after I left home after high school and went into the military. I've been in California a lot and other states too. So my sister had told me, you know what? I think maybe him taking them herbs and eating vegetarian helped him extend his life. And I say, you know what? I bet you that is probably it. But I have so many people I deal with, and I'm out here in California. I'm not around him a lot. And my sister pointed that out to me. And I said, wow, because we didn't ever think he would live that long. So these are just some of the situations and some of the people that I've been able to help on my nutritional and herbal programs. And today, hopefully, I'll help some of you all by trimming the body fat. So let me pull up my PowerPoint and I'm gonna get right into talking about trimming the body fat. Okay, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started in the PowerPoint. All right, what I'm gonna talk about today is cleansing. I'm gonna talk about cleansing and actually trimming the body fat. It's a thing that I do called intermittent cleansing. I'm also talk about how you just don't eat fat, okay? Massage, how massage helps to trim fat, and I'm gonna get into the lymph system, speeding up your metabolism, and of course, exercise. So maybe some of these you all know, and maybe some you wasn't aware of, but I'm gonna go ahead and expatiate a little bit on each one to let you know how they trim the fat. Cleansing is probably one of the most used ways of getting the body to effectively and efficiently get rid of weight. And we have a number of different cleansing products that I'm gonna talk about near the end. But there's one thing that's pretty important when you want to get rid of this waste out of the body, okay, which also adds to that fat, is transit time. Transit time is something that is named because it tells you how long food goes through the body. Once you put it in the mouth and it comes out the anus, that's the transit time. What I like to call from the rooter to the tutor, okay? So once you eat something, then when you have a bowel movement for that meal, that is your transit time. And your transit time has a lot to do with how efficient and effective your digestion is in your body. Every time a person eats a meal, they should have a bowel movement. Okay, I know average American, probably one bowel movement. Some people may not even have one a day. It may go every other day from a lot of people I've talked with. But if you eat a meal, you should have a bowel movement for it. And if you're not having a bowel movement, this could be a sign that you need something done as far as your digestive system, because something along that line is going astray. Because just like, look at it as a train station, okay? If you have a train come in the station, a train must go out. If two trains come in the station, of course, two trains must go out. So the average person eats, say, 3 meals a day. If you eat 3 meals a day and you only have 2 bowel movements, what is happening with this other meal? It didn't come out. Okay, so the next day, say you eat 3 meals again and you only have 2 bowel movements that day. Okay, now you got 2 bowel movements backed up in you that haven't come out, right? So that in itself is an issue. And that issue could very well lie in your digestive system. But the circadian clock I like to talk about. The circadian clock is basically like our biological clock, okay? When you wake up in the morning, okay, that's your biological clock waking you up. When you get tired or you get sleepy at night, that's your biological clock telling you, hey, it's time to go to bed. Sometimes this biological clock can get thrown off. For example, I used to work graveyard a lot of years when I was working my 9 to 5. And when I worked graveyard for a couple of years, I had I don't know, I just couldn't go to sleep right away. I'd stay up late. I'd stay up till maybe 11:30, 12 midnight. I still do that today. I mean, I work graveyard so many times that it's still kind of in my biological clock to keep me up that late. So that's something that can be dealt with though. But when we're doing cleansing, I use the biological clock, because from 4 a.m. to 12 noon, your body says it's fasting. That's the time your body is fasting. And if you understand breakfast, that's basically what you're doing when you eat breakfast. You're breaking the fast, okay? And from 12 noon to 8 p.m., your body is digesting. This is the optimum time to put food in your body, because your body is digesting at that time. It's ready to digest from 12 noon to 8 p.m. Some of you may have heard they said don't eat anything after 8 p.m., things like that. Well, this is why, because your body is digesting then. From 8 p.m. to 4 a.m., your body's not digesting then, it's assimilating. It's assimilating the nutrients and minerals and whatever it can get from the food or the meal that you ate from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. That's assimilation. So what I do when we have someone go on our cleansing program to trim fat, we try to go with the circadian clock. So from 4 a.m. to noon, we try not to eat anything to allow your body to continue to fast, because if you do that, your body will burn fat then. It will burn fat and it won't burn, you know, any food or anything like that. So that's why we use the circadian clock. And in many of my, I had a digestive seminar, I think it was a couple weeks back, and usually whenever I talk about digestion, I always bring up this fact that Americans have at least 70 pounds of waste in their body. They have 70 pounds of waste, and a lot of times it's down there in the gut, and 20 pounds of mucus. So this is a lot of waste and stuff down in your stomach or down in your gut that's more than likely causing you some problems. So cleansing, of course, is going to help to get rid of that 70 pounds, maybe not all at one time, but it's going to work on getting rid of some of that waste and, of course, some of that mucus. Now, not eating fat. I know this may sound like, okay, you know, I could have figured that out, but there's a lot of people out there that want to eat fat. They like eating fat. I don't know if you know people that like pork rinds or pork skin. I remember back in the day when I was growing up, I think my mother used to cut parts of the pig, and then they used to take that meat and then she prepare it in a way and dry it or something, and then, you know, make like homemade pork rinds or something. Well, it's a lot of people out there that want to eat fat. And I'm saying, you can't do that. If you try to trim fat, you got to stay away from eating fat. And not only that, you need to read labels. Reading labels is going to tell you whether there's fat in that food that you're buying or that you may want to buy. Saturated fat is the bad fat. This is the one you want to stay away from. Anytime I buy products, I always look on the label first, and I'm looking first at sugar or saturated fat. Maybe not in that order, but both of those I'm always looking at when I buy food. If I see it has 2.5 milligrams of saturated fat, more than likely I might not buy that product, whatever it is. Or I'm gonna try to look for something else that has less saturated fat. Now, all fat is not bad fat. You have good fat, which is monosaturated, and you have polyunsaturated fat. Those are good. Polyunsaturated is in the middle. Monosaturated fat is, of course, the best. And then the saturated fat is the bad fat. That's the one at the bottom. You don't want to mess with. And I do have a handout on this, and then those that, you know, maybe you need to stay away from. I did want to show just a little short. This is a video of a lady that was in Las Vegas, and she's at the Aria. This is one of the big casino hotels there. I'm not sure if any of y'all familiar with it, but they have this awesome buffet that she was talking about. And in this, this is a short clip. You may not be able to hear her talk because of the background noise in the, you know, the casino and the buffet. But I just want to show you, you know, that people like eating fat. Okay, she's with her husband and they're talking about the buffet and the meal that they're eating, the different foods.
Some vegetable dumplings and shrimp shabbat.
This is beef butter, as known as bone marrow.
She said that's beef butter, they call it, or bone marrow fat. Look how scrumptious it is to her.
Bone marrow who's really good. Now you are eating fat, so you can't eat this every day. But to visit here, it's worth it. It seems like here, the most popular dishes they had before they shut down is the stuff that they kept. So they didn't change the menu that much, but they have all the most popular dishes. They have the bone marrow, they have the oxtail club, they have the popular stuff. They still have all the popular.
The twice smoked sticky pork rib. That was very tender. Check that out. You see it fall apart from the bone.
Yeah, she was saying that this is fat, so you can't eat it every day. Like, I mean, a piece of bread she had there, like a piece of toast or hard bread, and she had what they call bone marrow butter, which is basically beef fat spread over it. And she was eating that, like that was yum, yum. So, you know, buffets can get you in a place where you probably don't want to be with your health. Eating, you know, fat, I mean, straight like that is unbelievable. I can't believe it. Pastries, dairy, cheese, chocolate, you know, any of these things, a lot of times they're loaded with fat. And I know sometimes I have friends, they say, oh, no, 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 dark chocolate is good. Dark chocolate is good, Mac. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, if you're gonna eat healthy, why are you eating chocolate anyway? The nutritional, you know, it's not a whole lot of nutrition in a chocolate bar or anything that's chocolate. You know what I'm saying? It's the same with cheese or any dairy products. A lot of them causes a lot of pain and a lot of problems, especially for most Americans. Any oil that's solid at room temperature, you don't want to mess with. If that oil gets solid at room temperature, that's an oil that's more likely been hydrogenated and will get hard or clog up inside your body also. So just don't eat fat. That's my second secret here. I'm saying don't eat the fat. Okay, massage. Massage enhances the metabolism of fat. You can actually get a massage and help to get rid of fat in your body. When you get a massage, you can also clear up some congested tissue in the body. This was maybe, it's been a while. I used to work as a massage therapist because I went to Pacific College of Oriental Medicine, studied Tui Na, and studied Chinese medicine. So I used to do massage, how should I say, publicly, you know, where I advertise and things like that. I only do it now with some of my clients that are on my nutritional programs. And if they need it, then I may recommend massage for them, and I can do it myself, or I could send them out to one of my other colleagues. Massage will help to metabolize fat. And most definitely it helps congested tissue, things that's blocking or causing some kind of congestion in an area, just like, let's say, for the belly. Okay, I talked about belly fat on my last seminar. And usually, if you do a lymphatic drainage or a lymphatic massage, you can get rid of and clear up a lot of congestion, which may be holding that fat in the belly area. So for instance, we have lymph nodes in our inguinal area. So in the inguinal area, on both sides, left and right, there's lymph nodes there. And if you are having a problem, say with belly fat, getting either a lymphatic drainage, lymphatic massage, or we have a product also, this product right here, if y'all can see it on the slide, is called lymphatic drainage. This will help to clear up and move your lymph system a lot better, because the lymph system also is a part of your immune system. What we can do is, say if you're working on belly fat and we find out that, okay, your lymph system is congested, like I do an assessment on you, then I can do either a lymphatic massage with my hands on your body, or you can take a product, this product here called lymphatic drainage, and you just take a few drops, put it in some water and drink it. And doing that after a period of days will help to clear up your lymphatic system and help things to flow, help your lymph system to flow a lot better and easier. And then in essence, that will help to get rid of some of that blockage, whether that's fat there, whether that's tissue there that's congested with toxins or things like that. That lymphatic drainage product, or a lymphatic massage, will help to clear all of that up. So that's just one way that you can clear up and trim some of the fat, is through massage. and lymphatic drainage. This product also helps to detox and move waste along. Like I was saying, it'll detox the body, move waste along, and it'll help clear up your lymphatic system. Because all in all, when you have your systems working at peak and optimum level, you're only going to get the best, you know, as far as digestion goes and moving waste out of your body as quickly as possible, because that's really the key to this whole thing of getting rid of fat. I look at it as getting rid of waste or getting rid of toxins. The more that you do to clean up the body and get rid of toxins and get rid of fat, then the easier it's going to be for you to get that fat out of the body or metabolize it, so the body is going to be able to work more efficiently. Speeding up the metabolism, okay? This is another way, just speeding up your metabolism. We do this a lot of times with our weight management programs. We have several weight management programs, and I'll be talking about a couple of them. One is the Dieter's Cleanse. The Dieter's Cleanse have actually a number of things in it that help to speed up the metabolism. And one of them I know is called Google Lipids. And I'm going to talk a little bit more in detail about Google Lipids. And let me get my notes. And there's some other things in that product too. Actually, this one has quite a few things. The Dieter's Cleanse is a combination of herbs. Our philosophy, or my philosophy, is to use a combination of herbs to help feed a system or get rid of a problem versus using one herb. For instance, you could use one herb, say Cascara sagrada, to clean the colon. But when you put a combination of herbs together, say psyllium with Cascara sagrada, and maybe some other herbs you put in there, licorice, then those herbs are going to work synergistically together to better help and better feed that system versus just one herb. I know I talked to one of my relatives, and this actually was my nephew, and he was telling me how he got rid of this cold virus or something using ginger. And I said, wow, you did? He said, yeah. He said, all I did was drink ginger. I said, oh, so you made a tea? He said, yeah. So I imagine he took and bought some ginger root, you know, from the store and probably chopped it up or something and made a tea out of it. And I said, wow. I said, you know, ginger does a lot of things like most herbs do. One herb can do a lot of different things, but it's usually one or two that they are best for. And ginger is well known to be best for calming the stomach or calming the digestive system. That's one. And then another one is motion sickness. Ginger is real good at motion sickness. I know that because I was in the Navy for some time, and riding out there on the Atlantic Ocean when they got 16 and 17-foot swells on a ship, let me tell you, it was rough. I was so seasick, I couldn't believe it. And ginger was something that I was taking to help with that motion sickness. But I told him, I said, how long did it take you to get over that cold virus or whatever you had? He said, oh, just about a month. I said, a month? And I'm like, man, now if you had talked to me, I could have put you on a combination product we have called CCA. It's for colds and flu. And if you had took this combination of herbs versus just one herb, I could have had you back to work, done with that cold virus within 3 to 4 days. Within 3 to 4 days. You know what I'm saying? One herb is good to use, but when you use a combination of herbs, because I don't know if some of you heard about Chinese herbs. In Chinese herbology, they put combinations of herbs together because they help and feed a system better than just one herb. So most of the products that we have with Nature Sunshine Products, which I'm a distributor with, they have a combination of herbal products that they have. You can get herbs in a single, you know, just one herb, but I tend to use their combination of herbs more because it better helps and feed a system versus using one herb. So the dieters cleanse, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about it near the end, is part of one of our trim the fat programs in which I recommend. And Metabamax is also one product that's in that trim the fat program that helps to speed up the metabolism. It also helps to curb your appetite and give you energy. I mean, all three of those things this one product can do, Metabamax. So basically it's about efficiently and how effective you can be in cleaning up digestion. And I know I'm talking about digestion a lot, and this is why. Digestion takes up 1/3 of our energy, okay? 1/3 of your energy in your body goes to digestion. So when you can make digestion very efficient and effective, then man, you're gonna save a lot of energy and have that energy to do with other things than digesting your food. And your system is gonna work a lot better. Okay, as far as burning fat, as far as metabolizing fat, and as far as getting you healthy and preventing any illness or chronic disease from coming into your body. It's definitely gonna help prevent, and especially if you partner that with a vegetarian diet. I talk a lot about vegetarianism because usually that's the first thing as far as diet-wise that I usually recommend or suggest when somebody want to do any type of program. If you're not a vegetarian or if you're not a vegan, then I'm usually gonna recommend or suggest to you, you need to start eating more like a vegetarian. And as far as I'm concerned, if you don't eat beef and you don't eat pork, if beef and pork is not in your diet, you're a vegetarian, okay? There's about 14 different classifications, maybe more than that now, for vegetarianism. I am what they call a pescatarian. I only eat fish for meat, and I have a regimented diet because there's some other things that I do. I am a raw foodie also, so I call myself a pescatarian with a regimented diet, and I am a raw foodie. And basically raw food is uncooked food where you can make these various dishes and stuff that have a high amount of nutrients in them. It's nutrient dense. I have a video that I made on Max Vegan Veggie Rolls. There's a video y'all can check out. I'm gonna put that in the chat once we get through the PowerPoint.